We have very high rates of violence against women and girls, and children also. Very high rates, still there. 2 in 3 women in this country experience violence, intimate partner violence. We have rape and so on. Women's poverty rates are increasing, poverty rates for women. And men also, we have high rates of poverty in this country, but women are worse affected, adversely affected. In education, you all would know, we are doing pretty well as far as girls are concerned. But where do they fall? At tertiary level. We are putting up a home for girls who are sexually abused and raped at home. When the state lets them go at the age of 18, we have a home for them, and if they want to continue their education, because then when they leave, they get further exploited. They end up on the streets or pregnant or something. So we're picking them up, small numbers at a time, so they can continue their education. And girls' education must continue till the end. We have a lot more professional women nowadays, particularly in non-traditional professions, like we've got pilots, we've got mechanics, we've got engineers, we've got surgeons, we've got neurosurgeons, and so on. But still, very small percentage compared to where we could have been if we all concentrated on ensuring that girls completed their education, ensuring there were equal resources for everyone. Then we have a lot of women who are, leaders, but we also need leaders at national level, and that's where we fall down again. How many women in parliament? 5, yeah? And how many ministers do? 2 assistant ministers and 1 minister. Yeah? And as we were discussing with Urmila this morning, why aren't women putting up their hands? Look at your own union. I talked to FWCC Women's Wing a lot of times, almost every International Women's Day. I talk to them. I always ask, why not? And why don't you, like over 60% of teachers are females? Yeah? 52%. So there's still a lot of women, female. Why aren't you voting women in? Why didn't our women leaders at national level get the kind of votes they should have, given the population of women in this country? Why don't we vote for women? And why don't women put up their hands? Because we are so used to, in a patriarchal system, we are so used to seeing male leaders. We're seeing male leaders. So we think they do the best. And because of male privileges and so on, we give them the vote. We put each other down. We think we can't make it. But we can. No? So when we talk about leadership, we talk about national leadership, we have to talk about how do we create an enabling environment for women to put their hands up. And I will talk about that in a little while. There's also something called, when we talk about women's, leveling the uneven playing field, something called TSM, temporary special measures, that we have always asked for. Temporary special measures are temporary, where you have seats allocated for women, so that people start seeing women in leadership positions, yeah? They start seeing them there, they get used to seeing women do well. Then as people start voting for women, you slowly get rid of the temporary special measures. Nothing wrong with that. We have to do it. When people are down, we pick them up to level the playing field. At the moment, the playing field is not level at all. As long as you have high rates of any violence against women and girls in a country, the field isn't level yet. The inequalities exist, the inequities exist, and so on. And we are no different. So of course the cause is patriarchy and patriarchal structures, which restrict gender equity. The barriers are numerous. I talked about one, women's work. And, we also have to look at who are the beneficiaries, what are the male privileges, and so on. So it's difficult to shift it. There is so much backlash when we try to achieve something, and you know, I'm a case in point. I get so much swears and everything. Even I'm 70 now. I still get the swears and horrible sexual jokes and you know, comments about me. But you need to just brush it off and keep walking, as long as you know what you are doing, what you are saying is right. Because those comments are to bring us down. First, you know, and then everything. See how they're talking about you. Then we all feel very ashamed. Don't feel ashamed. If you believe you are doing the right thing, you do it. That's how I've learned to do it. I've also been asked to talk about encouraging young women's leadership. Yeah? And I'm going to come to the men, yeah? Nice things about you too in a little while. Because it's, you know, it might sound like man blaming, but it's because of patriarchy that makes us who we are. Yeah? So when we talk about encouraging women, to encourage young women's leadership, you need strong feminist women's leadership and collective action. We have to work together. That's what's called women's solidarity. And sisterhood. I'm taking you back to the old feminist slogans and so on. Solidarity and sisterhood. We don't have to like each other, but we must stand up for each other, realizing what the issues are, why women are not doing so well, why isn't there equity. That should bind us together, because no woman is free unless all the women are free, and that is the slogan globally also, and should be for us also. We need collective action, we require solidarity, sisterhood, and accountability from each other and from everyone else. Hold everyone accountable. Question always. Question your leaders. You know, question the government. Question wherever you are, we can raise the questions when we don't like. Don't keep quiet just because the room is full of men. So, what we require, we have to be empowered ourselves. And what is empowerment? Empowerment is realizing what is wrong and doing something about it, but also creating you know, it's about self-esteem, high self-esteem, not low. Confidence, a lot of confidence, not low confidence. You know, we need to have those things. Now, it's not just going to come like this. As you can see, the struggle is great. We have to fight every inch, every centimeter of the way. No one is sitting around saying, oh, let's give us women their rights. Not at all. We've had to fight. Before us, other women came before us.